总体上来说是一个剧情片，这是一定的，因为里面有组织的拍摄，然后里面这些人都是演员，只有一部分是记录的段落，就是那个化工污染，然后有那个有部队，有那个车子出去救人，那些是当时发生在自贡边上的一个城市叫重庆，那个城市的一次爆炸的画面。但是这个画面完全是一个非常真实，而且很有可能明天就在自贡发生的一个情况。
So the mass majority of this film that you just saw, it's a fictional story, but there are clips and parts of the movies actually from the actual footage of what happened in the past in Chongqing. There's an explosion of the chemical plants, and you can see how the militaries got involved with the rescues, and also all the trucks and fire trucks and the scenes of rescue. So it's a combination of both.
我用那段记录的原因是两个，一个是它确实是发生在我身边这样的事情，当时有几十万人逃离那个区域。因为化工污染了，那么我觉得虽然我拍的是虚构的东西，是个故事，但是它影像还应该起到一些记录作用，为以后的人看到。还有一个作用就是说，它是一个在为故事里面的内容起到一些帮助和修辞的，起到这样的作用。那么画面跟声音直接呈现给观众，观众能够感受到这样的内容和我的故事和那些人的处境有某种关联，也就可以了。
And there are two reasons why I want to incorporate this footage into my film. It's because that this has actually happened in my surrounding. These are the people. There are about 100,000 people actually fled the city because of the chemical plant explosions, and I do think that that's something I need to document and for the future generation to see. And the second reason I incorporate this is because it will help me to tell my story. I think that definitely as an image, there's an audio component, that this is something that definitely make my story stronger and to depict the image and the sound that I want to depict.
我来这里之前刚刚完成拍摄是我的新片，那个片子里面有一半是记录，是真的记录。那个片子是关于一次非常重大的交通事故，是一辆公交车5年前它栽到河里，死了15个乘客，30多个乘客受重伤，那样一个事情。然后我在拍的时候，我觉得我可能以后不会拍纪录片，因为当我镜头面对那些幸存者和遇难家属的时候，我觉得很难受的，我觉得很难去拍下去。
I just recently finished my new films, and this is actually more than half of the materials, actually the actual documentaries. And so this is a story about this particular bus actually went into the rivers, and there are about 15 people drowned and 30 of them actually seriously injured. And for me, it is because this particular experience made me realize that I really cannot be a good documentary filmmaker just because I got so involved when talking to the victims and the survivors and listening to their stories. I just feel that I'm too involved. Yeah.
Let's take just a couple more.
Yeah, that was a really awesome film. It's cool to know that some of the stuff was kind of real cases. It's just that some of it was so bizarre, like why couldn't an army officer get a divorce? That's like so weird to me.
要保护军人的利益，军人是我们党手上掌握的枪，这个一定要政权组织，他要把部队握在手里，要让部队的人舒服。那么不管是在生活方面，还是在婚姻政策方面，要给他们最大的自由度，跟普通人不一样，就这个原因。
So if you can think about that, the military officers, these are the guns of the government. So therefore, they really want to have a tight control of their lives in terms of marriage and their social life. And so this is what's going on in China, and that's part of what you see with this particular story.
这个问题短期内不会解决。
And I don't think it's going to change soon or in the near future.
I just like to ask what like when you're making these films. I mean, I see like for us who are Americans, like it tells us a lot that's going on, like just day to day in China. And if that was your intention, like did you want these films to be shown to foreign audiences and for it to just be like an archive for the Chinese people, or is there something else that?
是这样的，这个片子放映的地点吧，离我拍摄城市越近的地点的观众反应越强烈。
So I do think that has something to do with proximity. The closer that the people get to the site of the films, they actually have stronger reaction to the film.
因为这些内容，第一都发生在每个人身边，他们身边的朋友都可能，包括自己都可能经历过类似的事情。第二，他们了解的不全面，只是经历过其中1、2个，但是很多情况他们中国人自己也不是最清楚，所以他们需要了解。
So for people, the Chinese audiences, a lot of them, these are the stories that can relate to because these are something that they see, they observe, and something that happened around them. But at the same time, I do think that a lot of them, they only know a very small part of the story. They don't know in its entirety. So for me, it's to somehow show the different aspect of the events that they feel so close to, and somehow get a better sense of what's actually happened.
我拍完以后有2点感受，一个是，就是我发现，虽然这是个故事片，但是，在自贡和自贡周边的城市放的这个观众看过以后，他们的反应是，这个东西，这个内容实在是太真实了，而且他们可以照应的举出很多类似的例子给我。比如说，我们有一天在吃饭的时候，跟朋友其中有一个是做刑事警察的，就突然走了，然后大家就问你干嘛去，都知道他去办案。他说就是有一家人，一个妻子跟丈夫发生争执，把丈夫的脸用菜刀给劈掉一半这样的。那么这就是很可能发生在每个人身边的事，这是一个感受吧。就当这些现实回过来找我这个作者的时候，我自己都很震惊。第二点是说，现实要比我拍的还要更残酷。比如说我刚才说的那个例子，生活当中的例子，它就更残酷。
So I do think that in terms of the story, this is a fictional story, but at the same time, for the Chinese audience, especially for people in Zigong City, they really feel that this is a true reflection of what actually happened because of that disaster. And they really think that it's a very realistic depiction of what happened. And actually, at one point, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he gave me the example of that one of his friends actually left before the conversation was over, is because he's a detective and a cop, that he was asked to actually pursue this particular case of a wife had a quarrel with the husband and used a cleaver to just hack half of the face of the husband, and so that's something that it's been played out in real life. And I do think that as realistic as my film was perceived, I do think that the actual reality is actually even more severe and harsh than what I can portray in my film.
所以这个片子如果不能发行 DVD， 我自己会上载，这是肯定的。
So if I cannot really make this into a DVD, I definitely will upload this onto the internet for people to download freely.
就是作为不是我拍摄的主要目的。
I didn't intend to make this as a film only geared towards the international audience.
I think that's all the time we have, but just a couple of important announcements. First of all, I think Daniel has some feedback surveys to pass out, and I strongly encourage you to take a moment to fill them out, because that will help us build the case to plan more events like this in the future. So if you want to see more screenings and events like this, please take the time to give feedback. They really appreciate it. And this wonderful time with Ying Liang does not end tonight. He's going to be at the Film Society of Lincoln Center tomorrow for a screening of his latest film, Good Cats. which will play at 6:20. So if you're interested in seeing that and having a chance to ask Imam more questions, please come to that tomorrow. So thanks again, and thank you, Vincent, for doing such a great job.
Thanks.